This is the FFR Trading Market Minute, and we're going to start this week with a monthly chart of the SPY. And I want to start with the monthly chart. We just got that Fed meeting out of the way. Interest rates still unchanged. There is talk, I guess the Fed governors, the majority of them anyway, feel no rate cuts for 2025. Market really didn't react too much to that. Market is closed today. It's Thursday, Juneteenth. So we don't know. I noticed that the futures, which are open till 1 o'clock Eastern, were selling off this morning. But we'll see what happens tomorrow, Friday, when the stock market reopens. But let's go through the monthly chart here. Obviously, we had our crash here. The market retraced most of that loss. We haven't made new highs yet. So the positives here is we're above the 20-period moving average here. The RSI has crossed above its moving average here on this month, which was the prior month. And this current month here of June, we have broken May's high. All right, that is a positive sign. That typically means we should get some more follow through to the upside. Now, we did get some follow through. We made a higher high there, but we have failed to take out the all-time high back here. And again, I measured that supply zone out here. There's where the big sellers are. So the positives are what I just stated, that this should get some follow through. The negatives here are if it doesn't, we're going to have a high and then a lower high. And, we could have that, we get this pattern, right? We fail to make a new high and then we come right back, right down. Okay, so I'm going to put the monthly chart as a net positive here. If we go down to the weekly chart, right now on the weekly chart here, you see the S&P has made a higher high over the last few weeks here. But if you look at the oscillator, the RSI has made a lower high. So it peaked here on this week, which was May 12th, and continued to move higher through June 9th. But the oscillator is making a lower high. So that's some bearish divergence there. All right, and then finally, we'll call that more negative than positive. But let's go down to the daily chart here. We've been going sideways, and that was to be expected. It's we see that a lot ahead of a Fed announcement. Like I said, didn't get much reaction yesterday. Markets closed today. We'll see what things look like when the markets reopen on Friday. But the RSI is below its moving average. That is bearish. We're above the 20-period moving average. That is bullish. Here's support. You can see that's been tested. So that was that resistance that broke, now becomes support. You've got the 20-period moving average below that. We start getting below the 20-period. Now we do have a lot of room to move to the downside here. All right, so our daily chart is net bearish right now. So I expect that we should get some pullback here. Like I said, we might just pull back into these areas here, and that monthly chart that we looked at still would be in good shape for more potential upside push. However, if this starts breaking down, right, like I said, we've got a pretty good ways to drop, and we'd have to reevaluate there. This would be the next support, but below that, there's a gap fill. And remember, these gaps fill about 80% of the time. All right, so there's this big open gap down here that we have to worry about. Now, the market, if it does, depending on how fast it comes down, if it does come down here, we'll get some oversold conditions, before probably we get all the way down here, or certainly down here. And the market would get some type of retracement or bounce there, and we'll have to kind of reevaluate. So bottom line is, if you're long the stock market, you got to protect your stuff here. Again, I don't expect that the market, it's a very low probability the market would retest the lows from the crash. But we are due for some pullback. We had a pretty good rally and recovery there. So look for some pullback here. Again, it's going to be a little difficult to read because we've got market closed today. We'll reopen tomorrow. So we'll see what things look like when the market reopens here. All right, hope that helps. Let's just look at the economic data that's scheduled for next week. Monday, we've got S&P Global Manufacturing PMI and Services PMI. Thursday's GDP, and Friday, Core PCE. Again, hope that helps. We'll see you back next week in the FFR Trading Market Minute.